Okay, welcome everyone. This is the working group device management meeting for July 1st. Remember, this meeting falls under the CNCF Code of Conduct, which basically means be excellent to each other. Not sure. Masahura, have you been here before? Do you want to introduce yourself? I don't remember. I think you might have been here before, but usually this is the time when we introduce new participants. Uh, Also, we have a few items on the agenda that we can talk about. So, yeah.
Thank you. I'm not a newbie. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
there.
Because, yeah, I wasn't sure. Um, so, yeah, uh, we have, I guess, a short status update from my side, perhaps. So, we are right in the middle of the code development phase for 137. If people want to help out at this point, in our project board, we have, let me just bring up the board, several PRs pending review. I typically try to make sure that they all have an assignee, but there are some that haven't been assigned formally to someone to review. Well, this one I think actually has some. I commented it has some test failures that the author is going through. Um, but if you want to help out with DRA, uh, doing a first pass on a PR that hasn't been reviewed yet, that's helpful at this point. Even if you're not an expert, just try to understand what's going on in a PR. Point out simple things like spelling mistakes, coding issues with Go. That's something that anyone can do. And at the same time, you're learning about the feature. So that's one way to contribute. We have our usual long list of caps that we want to get done. So that's the majority of the work that now happens. In parallel, another slightly bigger thing is that we are looking at performance. There's actually a dedicated PR from Gita on handling events, and I used that opportunity to look at how we are doing performance testing in Scheduler Perf around different features, or rather we were already doing that, but I also looked at how the test cases are set up, and we are making some changes to make the scheduler perf test cases more useful. And I have a branch coming up which contains further optimizations for the Go code itself. So hopefully that'll go into 137. Then there's the usual round of bug fixes. One thing, if you are a driver developer, then this one might be interesting for you. There was a bug report about the resource slice controller not updating resource slices in a certain situation. And the situation roughly is that during an update of a DRA driver, the new driver wants to publish different resource slices. It sees that the old ones exist. It updates them. Um, and then the kubelet somehow still deletes the resource slices because it thinks that the driver is down. And then that deletion event isn't handled properly by the resource slice controller. There's some interaction with the mutation cache in client Go that the controller is using. And I have a fix pending. I did it a bit differently than the original reporter, and I still need to get this PR here merged. I'm discussing it with one of the maintainers of Client Go or API machinery. If once that's merged, you probably will want to update your DRA drivers. You can do that already before we release 137 officially because there are not many changes in Client Go, or you can wait until 137 is out. Either way, this bug fix is coming. Anything else that stands out? No, I can't think of much right now. Yeah. So let's look at the agenda. Vishal, you are calling out your proposals. That's fair. Well, do you want to say a few words about those?
Uh, yeah, I just created the Google Doc as you suggested in one of the call and uh, added proposal. How can we add uh, reserve capacity and expression variable in the cell. So yeah, I just created proposal doc, and if you guys have some spare time, just go through it and have initial feedback. So yeah, mostly we'll targeting this for 1.38 release, next release cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
the cell one, I think, is fairly straightforward. We just need to
yeah,
get the details right, but there is prior art, so probably a comparison against how it was done elsewhere. That's the first good step. But you probably already did that, so I don't see much problems. Besides, we just need to review it, of course. Um, this one here, I just vaguely remember what it was about. I think it was one of the ideas from John. So getting
yeah,
him to comment on it, that would be best, I guess.
yeah.
Um, the problem with both is that people are currently busy with 137. You will probably will have to wait until there are people have spare cycles again, which may only be after code freeze. So
Okay.
roughly 1 month, or not quite a month from now. But then again, I'll be on vacation shortly after code freeze, so yeah, it's the usual problem. You're doing the right thing, trying to get it moving early, but uh, yeah,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are
So
bottlenecks.
yeah, so if I get initial feedback, then yeah, I start initial implementation and just like if I get go through for this doc, then I will open enhancement like KPPR, uh,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I will start for the like coding exercise. So yeah,
I'll try to look at the cell one because
yeah, sure,
that's an
sure,
area
definitely,
that I've been working on.
yeah.
But for reserved capacity, I think we need John. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, you just take a look and just let me know how it looks like. And yeah, if it is good, then we can move forward and I can start on that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So the next one is a PR that you've been working on, the registrar. That's also relevant for DRA driver offers. We found that the way how the helper code generates socket names sometimes makes those names too long. In particular, if you have a long CSI driver name. It's less of an issue if your CSI driver name, the DRA driver name is short, but if it's long, concatenating that with a unique ID for rolling updates makes the name too long. Also depending on the kubelet path, but overall we figured that we need to do something in the helper, and that's this PR. Have you looked at this integration failure? That's unrelated. Yeah, just a flake.
yeah,
So I know I looked at that. I think it was fine. I just need to go back and whether it's now done, but it's probably is. So I'll review that today and perhaps we can merge it.
yeah, it was pending since couple of weeks. So yeah, mm, nice to
Yep,
get another round of review. And
yep,
if everything looks good, then yeah, we can
yep.
approve and yeah.
for those who are writing DRA drivers, what we are doing now is the original naming scheme was this one, driver name with the pod UID of the owner of that socket, but that was too long because the UID can be long. So we are trying to mitigate that. We try to keep the driver name as the prefix and just hash the pod UID, which gives us enough entropy to keep it unique, but makes the whole name shorter. And even if that fails, the last resort is to drop the driver name and just rely on the pod UID to make it unique. Yeah. So that's roughly what's coming. And DRA driver authors don't need to do anything; they just need to update the helper package.
Yeah.
We ran into that with the example driver. The example driver, in some of its incarnations, has a fairly long or longer than usual name, and that triggered it. Yeah, I just remembered one other thing. Pang, I see you here. I think you may have to create a doc PR for consumable capacity for 137.
Okay.
Yeah. The deadline is soon. Well, they are not very well. It's one of the. No, I shouldn't say that on record, but it's one of those things that just has to happen. But I think it has less consequences if it doesn't. But you're supposed to have at least a placeholder PR with the chain with for your feature. I think for consumable capacity, we plan to graduate to GA. So it might not be much more than really just updating the feature gate definitions for example, for device taints. It really was just pretty much just that. And our repo.
You mean like for 137s, or I need to create a placeholder doc PR?
Yeah, or you just go ahead and basically just make those changes here where you update the DRA consumable capacity MD file under feature gates and declare that it's stable.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, like, in my understanding, it's supposed to be the beta for 137. No? Oh,
Is it?
changed. I don't know.
Did it? Actually, I'm not sure anymore. You probably know better. Are we keeping? We are keeping it in beta, right? In that case, you can just reply in the feature tracking issue the enhancement tracking issue that no doc update is needed.
Okay. I thought but yeah, okay. I will reply in there. In the case that we keep in the beta, we are not going to I don't need the placeholder, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Basically, we just say no docs needed for 132. I can't type anymore. We just say that it's that we are not updating it in this cycle, and then it's fine.
Okay.
No, that's shared consumable capacity. This one. Well, actually, you might not have to do anything. I'm not sure whether are we tracking it for this cycle? Stage beta? No, we don't actually.
Yeah, I thought like some people. I think it's you that say that this one will not be tracking this cycle.
Yeah. So no action needed. I just remember because there were some questions. I'm subscribed to all of the enhancement issues, and there were some questions somewhere about doc PRs missing, but no, sorry, it wasn't you. Sorry for the confusion.
I have a lot of the consumable quantity in the enhancement name now. So yeah.
Yeah, perhaps it was. Yeah,
But I mean, like, I think I still have a remaining task, like to update the. I'm not sure whether I should update in the KEP as well, or just only in the API. I mean, like in the code saying about like their integer stuff.
yeah, I think that would be good to get into 137. So, kind of needs to be both. You can start with the code and then update the KEP to reflect what the code says.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. It's just a doc update, I think. So, yeah, we don't need to track that. That's not a, and in a sense, it's a bug fix because it fixes the inconsistency in the docs, or makes it clearer. But that's not usually something that security needs to care about. Okay. Is there anything else that people want to discuss, ask, suggest? No?
I'm sorry. I have a quick question related to the DRA example driver. Is this okay? Yeah. I'm now like creating the PR for the net profile. However, it's like in addition to that, I need another profile like vGPUs that use the consumable capacity and some examples of another project. I just wonder like whether is there already some people already working in that profile, so any plan or
Oh, I don't know.
okay.
I'm not sure if it's where's my board? Yeah. So we do have, that actually is another area where people can help. We have lots of PRs pending for the example driver. So there is this one here, VFIO GPU profile, but I don't know actually. I have not looked at these PRs myself, so I think that's from Ale, because he's basically exploring the downward API thing.
I see. Okay. Yeah, maybe after this net profiles, we create another issue for like vGPU, and in the case of someone already working may show up. I don't know.
Yeah. You can ask on the always ask on the Slack channel if that may bring up someone who has some work in progress work.
Okay, got it. Maybe I will create an issue, put that in the Slack, and then if there is no issue yet. Yeah. Okay. I'll check first. Thank you.
Here's a PR that's now ready. Well, I occasionally sweep these boards, try to find things that were in progress and move them to in review. Yeah, that's yours, and it looks like it's now ready for review, right? There's one comment from John.
Yeah, I have to add the into tests and some examples. I have this only unit test, but I will add that soon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If that's all, then we can end early. Okay. Thanks, and see you next time. Bye.
Right.
Thank you.